Hello, everybody! This is the Old Bay 2 coming at you with my episode review of episode 10 of The World is Still Beautiful. Now, this, again, was a monumental episode. Many things happened in this. Things I did not see coming. We got all sorts of stuff going on, and it was awesome. Now, let's get into this. Now, this episode kicks off after the monumental kiss between Nikke and Levis. And because of this kiss, Nikke is like, I've been with him before, I've kissed him before, why am I feeling so, the way I'm feeling? When I see him, I get flustered. When I'm around him, I don't know what to think. And, all this stuff. So, in the process, she's trying to figure out why she's feels this way, even though she's been with him for so long. And she just can't kind of wrap her head around it for most of the episode. And in the process, we find out who that guy from the last episode was who's kind of like skulking around. And he is Nikke's cousin. And we find out more about the Principality in Rain. And Tohara, Baba-sama, basically Nikke's grandma, is the head of the country. She's the monarchy. She rules the country. She basically, and she's done interesting things for her life. How she's turned the country around. The fact that she basically closed off its borders to all the world, pretty much. Kind of like isolated itself from everybody. Which is interesting because we learn more about Baba-sama, Tohara, her grandmother, Nikke's grandmother, through this. And we also learned in this episode some interesting things about Nikke. The fact that she wasn't always as gifted with the Song of Rain. The fact that she used to be someone who couldn't even do it, who wasn't even gifted. But she worked, and now she's like the best at it in the country. So we have that parts that we learn about Nikke in this episode. But the key thing we learn is the true reason for recalling Nikke back. The true reason she was told her grandma collapsed. And that was because the head of the family, her grandma, Tohara, and her cousin are basically trying to pull Nikke back to the Principality of Rain, to tear her away from Levis, to make everything end. They don't want the power of their song ring going out to the rest of the world, especially since Levis is, quote, the king of the world. The Sun King is the king of the world. So, because of this, it was different. I thought it was just her cousin who was scheming things. No, it's that there's even a higher schemer, which was her grandmother. So this was huge. The fact that I did not see that coming. I only saw one person, but they even locked Nikke away in a special tower that's basically only reserved for members of the royal family who have committed treason. Even though Nikke really has not committed treason, she just kind of fell for the king. And they try in this process of doing this, separate Nikke, lie to the king, drug him, and try to hypnotize him so he can leave and forget all about Nikke. That's the plan. That's a big plan here. Fortunately, the king never took the sedative, and he tricked them back. So we have that. And so we have at the end of the episode, after he basically escapes, thanks to one of Nikke's sisters, who's basically saying, like, fuck you, family, I'm gonna do this, no matter how fucked I'm gonna get from doing it, how bad you're gonna screw me over afterwards, how mad you're gonna be at me, I'm gonna be, and he's like, you're like Nikke, you do what you want. He's like, Levis is literally like to her sister, you're just like your sister, you do what you want, you go your own way, you follow your around, right? So, it kind of speaks something about the family, they kind of like do their own thing, not giving a crap about others. So that's pretty interesting. But at the end of the episode, towards the end, basically Levis is facing off against Nikke's grandmother. And grandmother has the key, says, here's the key, it's got a spell on it. This is the key that can lock the door that your Nikke is trapped in. And she throws it in the water. And Levis jumps in, and he's basically doing everything. He said, and she goes like, and her grandmother's like, wouldn't it be so much easier just to leave, go back to your country, and forget about Nikke? And he's like, forgetting about Nikke would be just as bad as death for me. He's saying to her grandmother that losing Nikke to him is on the same level as dying to him. He says he cares that much for Nikke. And on Nikke's half, she's busting out, trying to bust out this prison. And her cousin's there, and he's like, you're hurting yourself. Why do you have to keep on doing this? And she says, it took me a while kind of to do this, but I love him. Nikke has admitted it too. She loves Levis. She loves the Sun King. She has admitted it. So we see on both sides, they love each other. They don't want to be without the other. And that's kind of where the episode ends. So we're going to have to continue with the next episode, and we're going to see how things tie up, hopefully, in the third episode. I thought things were going to be tied up in this episode from last episode, but we got more going on than I expected. So, of course, it's going to be like a 3-parter, possibly a 4-parter, I don't know, because this is only episode 10. Is this going to be an 11, 12, or 13 episode series? I don't know. Or are they going to have even more going on in the series and have it actually be a 26 or 24 episode series? I don't know. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens, what type of series is it, how many episodes it's going to be, everything. I'm looking forward to this. Thus, this is the Old Boy 82 saying, if you like this video, please click like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. This is Old Boy 82 signing out.